All right. In this lecture video, let's take a look at topic number 16. In topic number 16, we're going to talk a little bit about US and metric measurements. So there are a couple of things I want y'all to do, because this is also on the knowledge check as well. Okay, you got to identify the units you are dealing with. Okay, so I'll show you I will show you a little bit here just in a minute. So let's do US measurement. Okay, so the set of problem is conversion between US measurement to US measurement. So US measurement is one thing, then what type of measurement it is. So here we're going to have length, capacity, and our weight. These are the three main ones we're going to learn how to convert. So normally when we convert US measurement, I like to use the shortcut ways. Okay, for units that we're not really familiar with, I like to show students the unit fraction way, or something called a dimensional analysis. So just remember, whenever we convert large units to small units, I actually made a mistake here. Whenever we convert large units to small units, we will always multiply. To convert from small units to large units, we will always divide, okay? So let me explain why, because if you actually look at the answer sometimes does not make sense. So let's give this a try. All right, quart convert to gallon. So quart is US convert to US, and both of them are capacity. Convert US capacity to US capacity. I wrote this down so we know where to look. Okay, if you know what you're converting, then you know where to look. So US unit capacity is right here. Do I have anything between quart and gallons? Well, 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So that's the ratio I'm going to use. So who is larger? Who is smaller? To use a shortcut way, you got to determine who is large, who is small. We know gallon, from our everyday use, gallon is larger, quart is smaller. So whenever I'm convert from small to large, we will end up dividing. And what number do we divide? We divide it by their ratio, the 4. So no problem, most people kind of know this. This 28 quart to gallon will just be 28 divided by 4, which is 7. Okay, so my answer here is 7 gallons. So why does this answer make sense? Okay, the way you got to think about it is this. If we're going to start, if we need to convert small units to a large unit, we will need a small number to represent that I'm converting from a small unit. Okay, I hope that kind of makes sense. That's the reason why the answer does make sense if you actually put it that way. To convert from small unit to large units, you need a smaller answer. You need a smaller number to show that you are converting from a small unit. Okay. All right, let's try this one here on this here real quick. Feet to mile. So this is US. Mile is also US. US to US, and both feet and miles are lengths. So I'm converting US length to US length. So here, US units of length, looking for feet and miles. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So that's the ratio I will end up using. So feet is small, mile is large. So whenever I'm converting from small unit to a large unit, we will divide. And the number we divide is the ratio between mile and feet, which is 5280. All right, so I take my 22440 divided by 5280. So in my round to 2 decimal place, 22440 divided by 5280. I can't see my answer. Okay, 4.25. Okay, exactly 4.25. Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna do this problem, the last one here. I'm gonna use the dimensional analysis. So this will ring a bell a little bit. Using the concept of unit fraction. So 5 minutes convert to seconds. So when we use the technique of dimensional analysis, we always start out with what we're starting here, 5 minutes as over 1 times another fraction. If I do not want minutes, then I'm going to put minutes down here in the bottom. Why? So the two units can actually cancel each other out. All right, do I have a direct conversion between minutes and seconds? Sure, all of us know 1 minute, 60 seconds. So if I have a direct conversion, then I put my seconds up here. Then I'm writing the ratio. Have the units in place before you're writing the ratio. So we know it's 1 minute for 60 seconds. So the minutes can cancel out. So this problem is just a straight multiplication 5 times 60, which tell me it's going to be 300 seconds. All right. Questions? Everybody okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Y'all seen this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trying to go down there. You know what? I'm gonna move you out to the side. Y'all can still see me, right? See what's on the computer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's take a look at how we convert metric units, okay? So in this objective, it is conversion between metric to metric in terms of a length and area. So as you can recall, metric unit is actually using our number system, which is actually everything is based on 10. So whenever you see this thing, you know, the kilo, hecto, deca, every one of this unit is actually 10 places right next to each other. Okay, 1 to 10 is 10, 10 to 100 is 10, 100 to 1,000 is 10. Because the metric system is using base 10, that's why this is the most widely used measurement in the world. Okay, so whenever like if you drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi's, what you're gonna find is on the label it actually uses what? It actually uses metric units like a liter, but you also right next to it, you're always gonna see a little parenthesis will tell you how many milliliter that is. Okay, so things like 20 fluid ounce. Okay, you can get a small 20 fluid ounce drink, but that 20 fluid ounce is actually U.S. measurement. So check it out though. If you actually ever notice, right next to the 20 fluid ounce, it will tell you how many milliliter, which is actually convert to matrix. Because Pepsi and Coca-Cola, they're selling their product worldwide, so they have to have the metric units labeled as well. All right. So whenever we convert between metric unit to metric units in terms of length, capacity, and weight, the easiest way to do it is moving decimals. Okay, as guided by the prefix. For example, if I want to convert these problem right here, you probably don't need to round because all we're doing here is moving decimals. So if I want to convert 540 centimeters, I'm starting at centimeters. So this is metric. Let me write it down, okay? So we can see what's going on. This is metric, convert to metric. And both of these are capacity. Matrix to matrix, capacity into capacity. We look at this chart. You probably heard people say, you know, King Henry died drinking chocolate milk, something like that. All right, so that's what they are stand for here. You probably heard of that. All right, so to move decimals, you need to determine where you're starting. So if I'm gonna start at centimeters, C stand for centi, M stand for, oh Lord, I am not doing capacity. I am actually doing length. Duh, Mr. Chan. Matrix length. Meter means length. All right, matrix to matrix, meter to meter, from centi to deca. Centi is right here to deca, 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So all we have to do is take the 540, where the decimal is at the end, and move it 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, decimals in front of the 5. My answer, 0.54, okay? Decameters. That's all we had to do. Now, moving left 3 places also means mathematically you are actually dividing, moving left. So this is actually something you learn about the power of 10 back in Math 106. Moving left is dividing. Every place is a tenth at a time. So 3 places means divided by what? 1,000. You know, 3 places, 3 0, that's 1,000. So if you take 540 divided by 1,000, okay, that will be the same thing. Other than that, other than these 2 techniques, I will probably not gonna worry about any other techniques because it gets confusing. Okay, so the easiest way is probably moving decimals. But just make sure you understand when I'm moving decimal, you know, just like when we're dealing with the percent, okay, to get rid of the percent, we divide it by 100 or moving to the left 2 places. It's the same concept. All right, milli to meter. If it's just an M, that means meter. Millimeter to meters. So that's how many places. Milli is right here to meter in the center. 1, 2, 3. That's also 3 places to the left. All right, so this again, this is matrix. Oops. Length. There's a question on the knowledge check will require you to actually write this out for me. So decimal is behind the 3, so moving 3 places, that will put it right in front of the 8. So my answer is just gonna be 0.823 meters. All right. If I want to convert kilometer to centimeters, kilometer is always at the front. You know, we don't say kilometers, you know, we say kilometer. Kilometer to centi. How many places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the right. I'll put it right here. All right, so 30, right? That's what I'm starting. The whole number 30, the decimal is behind it. 5 places to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That actually gives you 5 empty slots behind the 0. So that will be 30 with 5 0 attached to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be 3 million centimeters. Okay. So whenever we convert length, capacity, and weight between metric to metric, okay, move the decimals. But it gets tricky when we are dealing with areas. Okay, so these are metric measurement of area. Now, how do I know these two examples I have here are areas? Well, the square actually gives you that hint. So before we move on to geometry, which is starting with topic number 17, I want to go ahead and write this down for you. Whenever you see, I'm using feet for example. Whenever you see just feet, feet means feet to the first power. That first power actually means linear. It also means, in terms of geometry, it means perimeter. Okay, whenever you hear people say square feet, square something, okay, the word square means you have a square. Literally, it means you have a square, but it also means area. Okay, it also means area. Second power or square, because if you literally have a square that is measured 1 feet by 1 feet, what should be the area then? The area is 1 feet times 1 feet, which is 1 square feet. So every time when we use the word square, we're talking about area. Cubic foot or cubic feet. Cubic feet, when you see the cube, that is referring to volume. Volume associate with capacity as well. You associate with it. Think about it. If you have a big container, that means you can actually have a lot of liquid inside of it. So whenever I use the word capacity, I want you to think about how much liquid is inside. Okay, so 2-liter bottle Coca-Cola. Okay, y'all seen this before. Y'all see how big a 2-liter bottle is. Okay, that 2-liter bottle is referring to how much liquid goes inside that bottle. But 2-liter of Coca-Cola also can translate into some sort of volume. Okay, so that's why there's a close relationship between volume and capacity. So when you see this square, that means we're dealing with area. When you see milli or decimeters, that means it's metric to metric. But the square tell you, you now need to look at metric area, convert to metric area. So these are the conversions we have. All right. So I'm gonna do these by dimensional analysis. So that means I'm gonna start out with 747 square millimeter over 1 times another fraction. Then let's do square millimeter down here. So the two units can cancel each other out. So by doing dimensional analysis, I don't have to guess whether I should multiply or divide. I just write it out and then the fraction will tell me what I need to do. All right, I'm starting with square millimeter. I need to go to square deci. Square milli. Do you see square milli? Okay, I'm gonna highlight all the square milli. One right here, one right here, one right here. That's it. Okay, which one of those 3 will take me to square deci? If I just look, oh, right here, square deci. This one can also take me to square deci, okay, but easier to use 1 to 10,000 ratio. So I'm gonna use the one in the middle. I'm gonna use this line. All right, so what this shows me is I do have a direct conversion in a chart that will take me from square milli to square deci. And my ratio is 1 square deci to 10,000 square milli. So the 2 units canceled out. This problem just now becomes 747 times 1, which is 747 over 1 times 10,000, which is just 10,000. So this problem I will need to divide. All right, it's 0.0747. So again, I don't have to round here. I can just type in all this in. Okay, so this is 0.0747 square decimeter. All right. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all seen this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good. So now, okay. And you can kind of Google this too, something called Rs. It's an old English area of measurements, okay? So this is for land areas. 1 Rs is 100 square meter. This H means this H, hecto. So 1 HA is hectare. 1 hectare is 100 Rs or 10,000 square meter. Okay. So do I have a direct conversion between hectares and Rs? Right here, it's a 1 to 100 ratio. Now, you and I, we know what a square mile is, but we have no idea what R's are. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't use some of these measurements. So for measurement that you're not familiar with, I can always use what? I can always use the dimensional analysis. This dimensional analysis is the way to convert. This is the ultimate way for conversion. All right, 1 hectare is for 100. So you kind of know hectare is bigger than R's. That's why you have to what? Multiply, because you are converting from a large unit to a small unit. So my answer got to be 16200, right? 16,200 Rs. So again, hectares and Rs are both metric to metric, and both are referring to areas. All right, let's do temperatures. This looks familiar, isn't it? This was on the homework. I think at the beginning of the semester when we were solving for specific variables. So it turns out what I did was I gave you a Fahrenheit and I want you to solve for C. So the first thing you do is to say, okay, this is my variable term. I'm going to move my positive 32 over, and I get F minus 32 equal to 9 over 5C. So now to get C by itself, I will divide both sides by the coefficient divided by, I'm going to count F minus 32 as a, together as one on the left side. Division of a fraction means times the reciprocal. That's why the answer for Celsius is 9 over 5 times the reciprocal times F minus 32. Okay, that's where they come from. Now here, all we're gonna do is just plug in our given and then find the other temperature. Oh, by the way, there's actually another temperature that we normally don't use. It's called Kelvin. Okay, maybe in the science, maybe in the chemistry class, they might talk about Kelvin. But the one that commonly used are Celsius and Fahrenheit. Okay. I think America uses Fahrenheit. I think Canada uses Celsius. Like if you ever watch the weather part on the BBC channel, they're all using Celsius. All right. 10 degrees Celsius, right? 10 degrees Celsius. Is that cold? Feeling good? Or it's hot? Do you know? Probably not because we don't use Celsius. So let's convert. If I want Fahrenheit, I use the Fahrenheit formula. So I'm going to say this is 9/5 times 10, then plus 32. Okay, so according to order operation, it will actually take the 9/5 times 10 first before we plus 32. So we can just type it in straight up. If you want parentheses to protect your fraction, you can. You don't really have to. Plus 32. Just make sure the plus sign is on the outside the parenthesis, okay? Because that's how the calculator knows two separate terms. 50 degree. So that's kind of what in between cold and feeling good, right? By the Southern standard. All right. This is actually, so this topic is about US and metric equivalent, okay? So this is actually US and metric length equivalent. So you've seen this chart before back in Math 106. So here it's telling you, okay, we got two sides of conversion numbers. The left side is starting from US to metric. The right side is metric to US. So how do you know which side to use? Well, that depends on what you're starting off. So decimeter is actually metric for length, right? Inch is US for length. Okay, so if I'm starting from metric to US, I use the right-hand side, metric to US. Do I see anything between deci to inch? No, I don't have any deci. Here, I only got centimeter, meter, and kilometer. Okay, so here we go. We don't have a direct conversion. So the way how you piece the path together is by starting from the end, kind of like, if I want to end up in inches, which right here, this one is actually in inch. So if I want to end up in inches, the table tells me I can go from centimeter to inch. So then if I'm tracking this thing backwards, then I need to ask myself, okay, can I go from centimeter back to deci? Now this is where things get tricky. Can I go from deci to centi? I know I can go from centi to inch. All right, so you see why understanding the units is very important. Because I told you that centimeter is actually metric units for length, right?
Mhm.
Inch is US measurement for length. So the question is, what is deci?
That's
sorry.
metric.
That's right, that's metric for length, sorry. All right, so check it out. How do I go about metric length convert to metric length? What do I do?
The decimal.
Get to move the decimal.
That's right here. That's why we write out the units. So we know where we at any given time. There you go. To go from deci to centi, that's how many places? One place, right? To the right. So here, I'm actually gonna purposely label this. I'm gonna say deci to centi is moving the decimal right one place. Okay. So check this out. So right now I got 550, right? Decimeter, which is equal to how many centimeter? Well, if I move to the right one place, that will tell me it's gonna be 5,500 what? Centimeter. Okay. Now, once I reached 500 5,500 centimeter. If I do my dimensional analysis, it's gonna quickly tells me centimeter to inch. What's the ratio? 1 to what? 0.394. 1 centimeter for 0.394. And what happens here? And this will happen every time for these problems. Multiply or divide. Multiply, right?
Mm-hmm.
5,500 times this divided by 1. So I just multiply straight up. That's the reason why if you use the correct box of measurements, you will always multiply. That's the reason why. 5500 times 0.394. Voila, 2167 inches. All right. Questions or concerns about these kind of problems? So when it does not give me a direct conversion, then I have to kind of think backwards. I gotta say, okay, the table shows me I can go from centimeter to inch. So the question is, can I go from centimeter to what? To deci.
Yep.
In a way, you're saying I'm going to convert from deci to centi before convert to inches. Okay. Remember, I can actually literally, and I tell students this all the time, no lie. I can just go to Google and say convert dm to what was that? To inch.
Mm.
All right, how many dm do I have?
550.
Voila, that's your answer. Not quite exact. Okay, so Mr. Chen, what's the point learning this? What you're learning is actually this portion right here. The critical thinking is developed right here. Can I actually backtrack, okay, knowing what I need to end up, all right, and then work my way to the beginning. Okay, so perfect example, and everybody doing this, you want to work at Schaeffler, that's where you want to end up. Maybe like a technician. What do you do before that? What do you do before that?
Finish the program.
What is your path to ultimately end up where you want?
Finish school.
Maybe you need to start out with what? NETC.
Yep.
Right? And you pick a program. And then this is a long path because right now we are, or you are at one of the steps, which is Mr. Chan's what? Math 155 class. There you go.
Yeah.
You see, that's what we are learning here. That's what we are learning.
Mm.
All right. So based on the information given on the table, okay, can I work it out my way through the entire process? All right. This chart, you got to be very careful here. There are several things going on. I got on the top right here, these are US area convert to US area. See the units, square feet, square inch, square yards, okay? And this is acres. Acres is not the same as ours. Down here is your US to metric area versus metric to US area. Down here, if you look at every single unit, this is actually metric area convert to metric area. So I kind of brought back the area a little bit from earlier pages. I'll put them all together so we can kind of see this a little bit easier. All right, I got two problems here, okay? Let's label this. When you see yard and feet, you know that's US convert to US. When you see square and square, you know that's area convert to area. So what I'm dealing with right now is convert US area to US area, which is on the top. All right, looking for square yard to square feet. Square yard, square feet. Do I have a direct conversion? Right there. But okay, by the way, why 1 square yard is 9 square feet? Here's the reason why. 1 square yard means I have a square that is 1 yard by 1 yard. And every yard is how many feet? 3 feet. So what's 3 feet times 3 feet? 9 square foot. Okay, that's where the 9 come from. All right, since I'm dealing with US, then I kind of know who's bigger, right? I know yard is bigger than feet. So convert from large to small, I'm gonna multiply. And what number do I multiply? Their ratio, which is that 9. So that'll be 747 times 9. That will give me my answer. There you go, 6723. All right. By the way, sometimes in our homes, things are normally measured by square foot. So if we say your room is 100 square foot, what is that referring to in the room? What is 100? If I say your room is 100 square foot, what is that referring to? What's 100 square foot in my room?
Floor.
Area?
Somebody said it. Who said floor?
Mm.
There you go. See, remember something called the floor plan? The floor plan means the floor area. Yeah, it's not the wall area, it's the floor. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, oh man, that house is 5,000 square foot, that means it's a 5,000 square foot worth of what? With the floors, okay? Okay, so what happened is we measure our home by square footage, but then when you go to the store, when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, guess what? They sell the stuff in square yard. You know what I'm saying? They might sell it in square yard, so so people will have to what? Actually convert. All right, let's try this. Square kilometer. When you see square kilometer, all right, when you see kilometer, you know that's metric, right? When you see yard, you see that's US. Okay, when you see square, that means area. So I need to convert. Metric area to US area. Okay, so I'm looking on the right hand side. Metric area to US area. Do I got anything between kilometer and square yard? Kilometer to square yard. Okay, I need to end up in square yard. So the only thing I see here is that. That square yard come from square meters. Okay, so I know my last 2 steps got to be square meter to square yard. So the question is, how can I go from kilometer squared to square meter? Okay, remember now, square kilometer is metric area, right? Square yard is US area. Square meter is actually metric area. So can I go from metric area to metric area? Where should I look? Right here, small area, this is all metric. Do I see anything between square meter and square kilometer? Square kilometer is only right there. And a square kilometer can take me to square meter. It's a 1 to a million ratio. So yes, I can go from square kilometer to square meter. All right, so I'm gonna use my dimensional analysis. I'm gonna start out with 800 square kilometer over 1 and times the next fraction in the bottom. I'm gonna put square kilometer, okay? My table tells me I can go from square kilometer to square meter. And the ratio is 1 square for a million. 1 square kilometer for a million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Okay. So now the square kilometer cancels out. So now I'm at square meter. So I multiply another fraction, put my square meter down here. Why? So the two can cancel out. Square meter to square yard. The ratio is 1 square meter, 1.196. 1.196. There you go. Square meter cancels out. So what do I do with this problem? Just multiply, right? Divided by 1. 800 times a million. 1 with 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1.196. There you go. That's a big answer. Can y'all see my calculator, by the way?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right, so that's the answer. All right, let's do something a little bit. Let's do this volume. Okay, earlier I mentioned something about volume is relate to capacity. All right, let's check it out. So in a way, think of like this: the bigger the volume, the bigger the space, the more liquid I can pour it in. So up here is US to metric capacities or volumes or both, actually. Every time when you see cubed, that's volume. But when you see liters, okay, that's actually capacity. And this side is actually start out with metric, convert to US. All right. Down here are all the metric volume to metric volume. Right below it, these are conversions between, let me write it down in words. These are conversions between capacity, metric capacity to volume, metric volumes. Okay. I might have wrote this down one time in class. CC, what does CC stand for? You know, I think I used my motorcycle. Mr. Chen, young days. You know, Katana 600 cc. CC stand for cubic centimeter. 1 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 milliliter. Okay, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. All right, so here I got like 3 different things going on here in my table. So let's start out with inch is US, meter metric. I see cube on both of them. I see cube on both of them, so that's volume and volume. Okay. So I need to convert from US volume to metric volume. So that will be up here. All right. Cubic inch take me to cubic inches right here, right? Cubic inch can take me to cubic centimeter. Or I can use cubic feet to cubic meter. Don't matter. I mean, we're gonna pick one. So you know what? Let's use this one. Let's think about this one. This is probably easier because that already tell me I need. It can take me straight to cubic meters. So right now, my thinking is okay. We got a cubic meter that can be converted from cubic feet. All right. So the question is, can I go from cubic inch to cubic foot? Well, it just turns out cubic inch is also what? US volume. So US volume to US volume. Oh, where is it? Do I have any US volume to US volume so far? You know what I'm saying? Have I talked anything about US volume to US volume? This is metric volume to metric volume. This is US to metric. This is metric to US. Oh, I know, Mr. Chan. The little drawing you made. This is metric volume. Check this out. Y'all ready? When you see cube, it means volume. It also means you literally have a cube. Okay, it doesn't quite look like it, but it's close enough. All right, I have a cube. All right, sorry, I got disconnected. Everybody back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I touched my computer, so it does that. All right, so 12 inch times 12 inch times 12 inch is 1728 cubic inch. All right, so what does that mean? Well, that means if I start out with 70 cubic inch over 1 times another fraction, put my cubic inch down here, I can actually convert cubic inch to cubic foot, having a ratio of 1 to 1728. Cubic inch cancels out. Now, once I'm at cubic foot, I can go straight to cubic meter by my conversion here, 0.028.
Yeah, because I'm working.
What was it? 0.028. There you go. Canceled out. Is that right? 1 cubic foot, 0.028 cubic meter. So this problem is 70 times 1 times that. 70 times 1 times 0.028 first, then divided by 1728. Okay, we got to round a little bit more than 100. So this is going to be 0.001. 1 cubic meter. There we go. All right. So did not have a volume to volume, but we can actually just draw a little cube and kind of figure out what what the ratios are. All right, this one is cubic inch to liter. Ooh, this one is interesting. All right. Hold on a minute now. Let's think about what we got here. Cubic inch. So that's inch is US, cubic is volume. All right, liter is actually metric in terms of capacity. Whoa. All right, hold on. Okay, I need to end up in liter. I need to end up in liter. All right, US to metric. I need to end up in liter. How do I end up in liter? What I'm being shown is quart to liter, gallon to liter. Everybody okay so far? Now, I'm gonna highlight a couple of things here. Okay, I can go from capacity to capacity, which is liter, quart to liter, gallon to liter. Or I can use this one. Why would I want to use that one?
Smallest number.
Oh no.
Is it because like it's more accurate?
Oh no, it's right here. I need to make a jump. You remember I need to jump from volume to capacity, right? And the only place I can jump is probably right here, because right here it's telling me these ratios between what? Capacity to volume. Okay, so I need to end up in liter, right? But none of these says liter, or except this first one. Okay, so if I will actually make this jump right here at the very end, what it's saying is, okay, I can come from the volume, cubic decimeter. Okay, cubic decimeter can take me straight to liter that I want, but can I convert between cubic deci to cubic inch? Remember, this is metric for volume. This is US for volume. Okay, do I have anything between cubic inch to cubic deci? No, I have cubic inch to what? To cubic centi. Everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See right here, if I'm actually go to cubic centimeter, then cubic centimeter down here take me to milliliter, which milliliter can actually take me to what? To liter. That's actually how we're gonna go it. Okay, so it turns out I actually need to go to from cubic inch to cubic centimeter, and then go from cubic centimeter to what? To milli. That's my jump between volume and capacity, and then go to that. All right, so it's not that bad. Trust me. What's the ratio between cubic centimeter and milliliter? It's a what? 1-to-1 ratio. So from here to here is 1-to-1 ratio. So what that means is, if I start out with 800 cubic inch over 1 times, put my cubic inch down here and put my centimeter right here. What's my conversion numbers? 16.387. 16.387, right? For 1 cubic inch. So when the cubic inch cancels out, that means I'm at cubic centimeter. 800 times 16.387. All right, this many cubic centimeter. But you know, cubic centimeter and milli are 1-to-1 ratio. So that means this is the same amount of what? Milliliters. If you don't believe me, we can just write it out. If I write it out, times, right? Put cubic centimeter down here, put milli up here. That's where we're going next. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So 800 times this times 1 doesn't change the answer. So then that tells me that I'm reaching milliliters. And go from milli to liter. We just moved our decimal. This is metric capacity to capacity. So how many places would I move? From milliliter to liter. That's actually what? 3 places to the left. So at the end, I need to move left 3 places. All right, so I'm gonna stop it right here for right now at milli, see what my answer is before I convert. Which is how many? 13109.6. 131, what did I say? I got short memory, 09.6, right? Milliliter. Now I move my decimal to the left, 3. 1, 2, 3. My answer, 13.1096. So if I round to the nearest hundredth, which is that 0, that'll be 13.11. There you go. What do y'all think? That one's a little bit tricky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all seen this before. This was on the post test in Math 106. Yeah. All right. This is actually convert from gram to ounce. So this is my last one. Gram is what? US or metric?
US metric.
Yep. Convert to ounce is actually US. Okay. Oh, like if you got kids, pediatricians, when you go to pediatricians, every time they weigh the kids, what do they weigh them in? Pounds or kilogram?
It's usually kilograms at first.
That's right. That's right. Always
They
kilogram.
really
And then they got to what? Look at that chart. Look at that chart on the wall right there, and tell and then do a little bit of math, tell you how many pounds. You can do it yourself. 1 kilogram is how many pounds? About 2.2. There you go. Yeah, last time when I take my kids to the pediatrician, they told me how many kilograms. So I did a quick math in my head. I already know the answer, but the lady says, "Oh, I'll let you know how many pounds your baby weighs," but she never told me. All right. So we can do the math ourselves. All right. Gram to ounce. I got a direct conversion right here. So this is pretty easy. So I'm not even gonna worry about who is big, who is small. I'm gonna just go with my dimensional analysis. Put my numbers in. 1 gram for 0.035 ounce. So what do I end up doing? Multiply or divide? I multiply, right? But my answer, this is kind of weird, 71 times 0.035 is 2.485. 2.485. So if I round to nearest 100, it's about what? 2.49, right? Ounce. All right. So back to what we talked about at the very beginning. I'm gonna put my answer right here in the space, okay? Look at this number. Look at these two numbers and tell me who is actually larger units between the two.
Is it ounce?
Gram. No, ounce. Ounce.
Yeah.
Ounce is larger, right?
Mhm.
Very good, because it makes sense to convert from a small unit to a large unit. I would need a small number to show I'm converting from a small unit. There you go. So you imagine this 1 gram is like $1 USA is equivalent to 0.035 dollar in somewhere. Whose money worth more?
Same value.
The somewhere is worth more, right? Because the ratio is actually what? That you had to give them $1 of our money in exchange for about what, 3 cents somewhere else. So that make the other place units is actually larger. Very good. Okay, so that's how we think about these units and things like that. I think, do y'all do a lot of do you know they do a lot of convergence in at a plant? Like what do they use? Do they use metric or do they use US on the tools?
Metric.
Yeah, they got a lot of metric.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder why.
Germans.
So
Germans.
yeah, that's the reason why. Okay. All right. So that will conclude this this topic number 16. So like I was saying before, let me gonna stop this real quick. Stop.